morning.
Marlies.
So I can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh my goodness, what a start to the day. Mouse not working and then the mic keeps cutting in and out. So I've got this. So if I disappear, I'll just go like this.
Okay.
And you can talk to the dog.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, oh my goodness. Oh well, we're all back. It's all good.
We are. What a week. What a week. Another crazy week in the world stage. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's so Russia has begun to invade Ukraine, and it brings a whole lot of things to light. Like, now we're really seeing what losing your freedom means, if you ask me.
Oh, no, I know, and I that's what I was like, just this whole thing about oppression and losing your freedom and all this and that. I was, like, so upset with that because of the way my parents
Yeah.
had to leave Estonia when, the Russians took over Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, the Baltic states during the Second World War. My parents, you see these people leaving with suitcases?
Hmm.
That's exactly what my parents had to do. They had to leave everything
It's
behind and leave their homeland.
it's heartbreaking to watch live on TV,
Yeah.
and it's a total different war right now because of
Mhm.
social media. Like,
Yep.
we are witnessing this like a lot, like a lot more, like,
Yeah. Yeah,
back in
'cause
World War II, you were
yeah.
here on your little continent and everything
Yep.
was going on over there, and you were
Yep.
not made aware as much as, yeah, there was the news, but it's nothing like it is now, because we're seeing it live from
Yep.
the ground. We're seeing Ukrainian people post videos. Like, I saw a video of this woman. She walked to a soldier and she's telling them, go away. What are you doing? This is not your land. Go home, leave us alone. And she's being threatened by these soldiers. And I'm like, I'm watching this video, I'm terrified that she's going to get shot right there on the spot, right? Like, anyways, it's
Well,
it's uh
I've
it's
got,
scary.
the biography of my dad. He wrote his biography, my mother's got hers written by my sister, and, I mean, what they went through is pretty well what's happening now, but, of course, at the time, there was no social media. So, right now, my mother, it's really, traumatic for her because she was watching the news the other day. And she was saying that she was hearing the bombs go off and the
Mm,
sirens, and it brought her right back to the days that they were evacuating again because when Russia
yeah.
took over the Baltic states, they had to leave. And, their journey from Estonia to England, it was awful. They were 11 years old
Yeah.
when they had to
Yeah,
leave,
they
and it
would
was
have PTSD for sure. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah. And she's having it right now watching
mm,
all this.
mm, it's hard to watch, and
Yeah.
not sure where it's going. I know that there are supposed to be talks today, so we'll
Yes.
see where that goes. But
All
and
because all because of one person that wants Russia back to being the almighty power, like
yeah, and that's the tricky part, right? It's like, you can't let him have Ukraine. You
mm-mm.
can't. If you let him have Ukraine, that's it. He's gonna go for Poland. He's gonna go for
Well, he's gonna my mom
whatever,
said he's gonna go back and try and get the Baltic states again
Of
after
course.
this, and they've been independent for many years. I actually went back to Estonia in the year 2000, and
Yeah.
they've been independent for a few years, but Russia they'd done a lot of damage trying to,
Mm.
get the
Mhm.
country and keep it and whatever, but,
Yeah.
yeah, it's scary, very scary.
Very, very scary. Anyways, we'll see where that goes.
Well,
And then,
what's scary is if he puts that finger on the, nuclear bomb button, that is scary.
yeah, and he was saying yesterday that it's on high alert.
Yep.
And Kelly Bergeron, who's our guest today, she's in tech, so maybe I'll ask her this question, because I had a question about nuclear arsenal and about Anonymous, how they've been hacking into the Russian system. So I'm gonna bring her in. She's not here to talk about that, but that's my
Well,
first question this morning.
and we should let Kelly introduce herself because
Good
Kelly
morning.
just
Good
good
morning. How's it
morning.
going?
Oh,
Good.
we're okay. We're hanging in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. By a thin thread.
Yeah, so
So,
before we move on to what you're here to talk about today,
yeah.
so yeah, so I was hearing the news about Anonymous was hacking into the Russian system, and how some people were saying that it's kind of a dangerous thing to do right now
Mm,
Mhm,
because everything is intricately connected together, and you
mhm.
could, detonate a bomb without without meaning to. So,
yeah.
what's your take on that?
I think that we've got, civilian hacker groups like Anonymous who are taking a lot of, um, they are taking advantage of the weaknesses of the Russian systems. I think that a lot of the defense systems are kind of standalone, but I would say that they're mostly focusing on their information systems. So
Hmm.
the government websites, the defense websites, they are hacking into them. They're trying to show the Russian people that this war isn't the war that they signed up for.
Hmm.
It's the war that Putin wanted, and that
Hmm.
it's their sons that have gone off to war, and that their sons don't even know that they're supposed to be there. They're not even sure why they're there.
Hmm.
So you can see social media really having a huge impact. And the amount of coordination of information that's coming out of Ukraine is kind of brilliant, right? Because you've got Zelensky, who knows, who is a young man, he's 44, who has been vocal on social media and saying, like, I'm out here fighting. And people have said that that has more impact than, a bunch of bombs.
Hmm.
That actually motivates people to come and fight for Ukraine. So we're
Yep.
just seeing like this massive influx of social media content going out. We just need to be careful that we're not sharing misinformation or disinformation. We need to be careful of our sources, and that, especially on TikTok, that we're not sharing things that are going to break the law. So, like,
Hmm.
prisoner of war content is, you cannot share prisoner of war content. It is really important to stick to those principles of war.
It is
Hmm.
misinformation is a plague right now. It's
Mhm.
Yes.
crazy.
It
I
is.
really loved what he said when the U.S. offered to evacuate, and he's like, "I need Arsenal, not a ride,"
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they want to fight. Like they want to fight for their country, and it's very it's inspiring to see.
Yeah, and I think he's a hero of our time, right? Because of um his issues with Trump, and how Trump tried to negotiate, or, use extortion over him, and he just wrote it out. And
Hmm.
now here he is, and he's saying, you want democracy? I'm out here fighting for democracy.
Hmm.
Like, be be a hero and fight for democracy. Like, none of this, hiding behind a desk thing. So
Right.
I think that's super powerful.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of images coming from the border over there of
Yeah.
people coming out, but just as many, if not more, going in.
Mhm.
So the young men from 18 to whatever 60 are going back to fight,
Yep.
and and that's what courage looks like. If you ask me, that's what fighting for freedom looks like.
Hmm.
Yeah, not sitting
Um,
in hot tubs and
Yeah.
Having a
and
good old
taking
party in the
fancy
middle of
classes.
Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right now. Like they felt they were being oppressed and this and that. And Kelly, I don't know if you know, my parents are from Estonia, and
Mhm.
the communist Russia took over Estonia during the Second World War. So this is kind of really hits home to my mom right now. When you
Mhm.
see people leaving with suitcases and all their belongings and being, having to leave their homes. But whenever the I don't haven't really talked about it, but when the truckers were talking about oppression, like sitting in hot tubs, jumping on bouncy castles, and having a sauna wasn't being oppressed.
I'm
This
sorry,
is.
but if you are taking a city under siege for 3 weeks without any consequences, not freaking one arrest done, not one bullet fired, like, that is
Yeah.
not oppression.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I think that's really interesting. I think the juxtaposition of what happened here versus what's happening in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And I remember, at the beginning of everything, in the trucker convoy, and just seeing like the links of disinformation from Russia and the amount of bot activity we were seeing, we knew that they were focusing on disinformation in Canada. We knew that like there was such an ominous feeling. There was a feeling of like you felt sick to your stomach because you knew that people were being manipulated. And then to see, people get really angry about it. But then you see people like Lauren Boebert in the American Congress who are saying, let's invade Canada next. And it's just like the disinformation has gotten so wild. And it's like they're really playing upon people's vulnerability right now during a pandemic. And they're exploiting people, and it's just not right.
Heather says she fully
Fully
agrees.
agrees.
Yeah, and it's I don't know if you saw the restaurant in Sarnia this week. You probably saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Who right under their French toast had a big thing about Putin and how and she spelled it Putin.
Yeah.
Almost. And like I mean, you look at this and I'm like, what planet are they living on? Like, how can you actually believe that kind of stuff? Like, it's to me, it just I just don't get it. But
for sure. And so you focus on the positive and you take the little joys of every day, and you try to adapt, and you try to be there for people who might be suffering a lot more. Like you were saying, Maylise, like your parents are probably experiencing a lot of trauma and PTSD from.
Yeah, my mom definitely is.
It's so hard to go through those motions. And
anyways, so you're not here to talk about war or about convoys today. You're here to come and talk to us about new projects that you have ongoing from Neighborspace.
Yeah, for sure. So currently working on this project that kind of spun out of Holiday Sparkle. Holiday Sparkle was it was really enjoyable while it lasted, but it didn't last very long.
No.
Because ironically, we wanted to put it in the downtown to eliminate, emissions and people driving and things like that. But with that, we had a different kind of weather pattern. So we struggled a lot with some of the infrastructure and whatnot, but we did have a successful 3 nights of Holiday Sparkle, and we raised some money for local charities. But out of that kind of came the idea of developing these spaces in communities that are very makeshift, like the pods that are in front of the Cornwall Square. Those are shipping containers, they're sea cans, but essentially creating like a prefab sort of shipping container that can come decked out with like all kinds of bells and whistles, like a farmer's market setup, a cafe. You can rent e-scooters, you can rent e-bikes from them. You've got remote work pods. Like you can do all kinds of different things with these spaces that are essentially recycled shipping containers. Currently working with a team out of Toronto and Calgary and a couple of cities that are working on like the branding and the design and the actual prototype of our first shipment. And essentially, we will be launching this in the summertime. We have a few cities that are currently interested, and last week we were invited to a conference in Paris to
Nice.
talk about the opportunity to create these 15-minute cities. And if you go to our website, there's a video that talks about 15-minute cities. It's neighborspace with a U.ca. And we want to promote the 15-minute city, which means you can get to your basic essentials within a 15-minute walk or bike ride. And the idea is to reduce emissions, to create community, and to kind of expose people to the opportunities for like reuse, recycle, and the circular economy. So we do intend on using as many sustainable parts and materials as possible, but we will work with communities to come up with how we want to design those pods. So communities will be able to go online and customize their own neighbor space, and then we will ship them out, and all they have to do is unload it, and they will be solar powered, and they'll just have a lot of like really cool features that will encourage people to, you know, go outside and like find out what's going on in the neighborhood, and maybe buy a few fresh veggies and fruits, or, you know, go get a cappuccino and check out the little free library that's there. Like, we want to create this space that kind of accommodates different demographics across the community.
So would these go like in a park, sort of like it is at the Cornwall Square right now, where you'd have more than one in one area?
Well,
Yeah.
the idea is that it would be one shipping container that would have a lot of different sort of pods inside that you would pull out, and you would have your setup, but there would also be awnings and lights and signage and things like that. And we would have the opportunity for muralists to paint murals on them, just like the way the city has done as well. But essentially, it's more of like a turnkey solution, and really promotes that 15-minute city where you want to get people out of cars. And the latest, you know, IPCC report just came out this morning about climate change, and we're in a lot more trouble. And it's like, do we have time to sit around and talk about, you know, these massive changes that might take a decade to happen? We don't have that time.
Yeah.
So this is a quick solution. And I am going to start a crowdfunding campaign to offer one to the Centertown residents in Ottawa. So we'll start a crowdfunding campaign because we wanted to do something to bring the communities back together, but also a place like of hope and like giving the neighborhood back to people in that community.
Right.
So that's one way we're going to get in front of people, is like telling them like this can act as a way to put, you know, to heal a community, but also just for like everyday families and friends to like gather and enjoy the outdoors with like amenities right there.
Yeah. I really like that, because like you said, the report came this morning, and they're saying that every 1/10 of a degree might be the 1/10 of the degree that is a point of no return.
Yeah.
And so that's really scary. We need to act, and I'm guilty. Like, you know, we live in Cornwall. I am right downtown, like a little bit outskirts of downtown, but still like almost downtown. And everything is like walking distance, and more often than not, I will take my car to go, you know, shopping. And so I'm guilty of it. We need to try to do better and use our legs more. It's good for you anyways.
Yeah, it's difficult when you're exposed and you're used to it. I remember, you know, being in place like Nicaragua, where you drive around and like they're just living in like a climate change hellscape. And like, how are they surviving with little to no resources? And yet we're all up here acting like, you know, our gas prices need to be low and we need to be coddled into like getting on a bicycle or walking anywhere.
Mhm.
And I think we really, really need to look at our habits. We need to start scaling down, and we need to stop with that mentality of like keeping up with the Joneses. You know, like um, everything we consume moving forward is in full knowledge that it's all, you know, becoming less sustainable.
Mhm.
So like we all need to do our part. We all need to like go out and make the effort. And that's why I love the local Phil, because like Julie over there, it's just incredible like what this little store does, but it also changes mindsets. And what I'd like to see are like bigger grocery stores doing that whole you know, reusable packaging thing, and like being more innovative and showing people that you don't need to be consuming so much. And I just think it's such a North American issue, and it's something we take for granted.
And we have so much resources with technology. Like I was seeing an app that was developed, that they're using in Montreal for like purchasing the food that is about to expire.
Yeah,
And you can sign up to this app, and I want to see this in Cornwall. Like I want
Mhm.
that. I would use that. I always go to, like, that's my first step when I go into whatever Walmart, Food Basic. I go right for the rack that's about to expire, because
yeah,
such great deals and they're perfectly usable.
yeah,
So, you know, we have to stop thinking that a fruit that is bruised just a little is no longer, because we're in a consumable society where we just want to, you know,
yep,
take, and it's a
yeah.
bad, it's a bad state of mind.
Yeah, I read this statistic the other day that said we end up wasting $1,200 or $1,600 worth of food a year.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a lot for a family who is just getting by. So, I
Mhm.
think we really have a lot more work to do. I'm hoping that I can start to change people's minds with this new idea of like putting sort of repair cafes into neighbor spaces. So, showing people how to repair things before throwing them out.
Mhm.
And having, you know, electronics people come in and show people how to repair iPhones, or having someone come in and show people how to repair clothes, or how to repair furniture. So I think
Like
there's,
we used to.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Now we just throw it out. And
Yeah.
yeah, we try to not do that in our household as much. And yes, we do drive, but I am an avid cycler. And I'm hoping to bring an event back this summer where we do Friday night rides, and
Mm.
promote cycling with youth. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And while we were backstage, you were talking about something called circular economy.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, the circular economy is a growing economic opportunity for people all over the world. We have a really strong circular economy in Cornwall that is being heavily promoted by the city. I believe it's Angela Parker and the River Institute League
Hmm.
are very heavily engaged in this. And it's the same idea of the local fill. Like you go in with your containers and you refill everything. And she keeps track of all the data right on her door. She writes down how many bottles they've saved from the landfill. And it's like little things like this that make such a huge difference, right?
Mhm.
But then you go to, you know, say Serendipity, you go to a Gappy, and like a lot of fashion is so wasteful, right? Like you've seen the huge landfills in India and all over the world where they can't get rid of all of this clothing. So a lot of companies now there is a website or a platform called Trove, and major companies, I believe Stella McCartney or Patagonia, like different companies are learning how to recycle their clothing and remake it using these recycled materials. So you're seeing this whole circular economy thing where we don't want to waste things, but fashion tends to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, we're watching that with the 90s revitalization right now. So you're seeing like vintage stores downtown that, you know, are promoting clothes that we were wearing in the 90s. And
The
for
mullet is having a return.
yeah, so I think, you know, people need to realize that they don't need to buy new, that there's a lot of opportunities for them to promote circularity.
Yep.
And one way we're doing that is myself and my co-founder, Chatney Hearn, is we have an electronics tech rental website where we rent out tech. It really started with virtual reality. It's called poptronic.ca. And essentially for every, we do rent out devices by the week. And we want to promote circularity because people might only need a device for like a weekend project or just to try something out. But we also give people the option of buying the device once they realize that they want to keep it.
Mhm.
And what this says is it actually deters people from buying things and letting them sit and collect dust, but it also deters people from buying things and then returning them. So if they could, you know, keep them, we do end up planting a tree for every device we sell.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so we want to promote that circularity in tech. And as someone who works in tech, I do have a day job. I do work for a big tech company, but I also teach teens how to code. So I teach teens across the US, Black, Latino, and Indigenous. So I've spent most of my days, you know, teaching remotely. And it's just been such a joy to work with these kids for the past 2 years that I don't take things for granted. So yeah, lots of stuff in the tech world.
So, I'm curious about something you said about planting a tree with every device that you sell.
So,
So, do you partner with somebody? How do you plant a tree? Because I'm thinking, you know what, I should do that. Like
Yeah,
I'm
for
in printing, right? So even more so, I
Yeah,
should
for
even more
sure.
so.
So, Tree Canada, they will partner, and I've talked to the RRCA about this, the Raisin Region Conservation
mhm.
people, and they said that they partner with Tree Canada. And what Tree Canada does is they say, okay, well, you need to make a minimum amount of a donation per year. So the minimum amount I believe is $2,000, but I believe it's like $5 a
A
tree.
tree.
And so you do need to make a minimum commitment, but I always see a minimum commitment as a really good thing, right?
Yeah,
Because we always need more trees.
you're invested.
And then that way it does go to the RRCA and it's planted in, you know, the way that it needs to be planted and taken care of and things like that.
Super interesting. So
Wow.
come businesses, if you feel like contributing to planting trees, this is a
Yeah, for
viable
sure.
option. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, Kelly?
No, not really. Just I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm grateful to be in this community and surrounded by so many thoughtful and empathetic people, and like just proud of like all the work that everyone does just to move us forward, and hopefully we can keep up that momentum even during the darkest of times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Let's try
Yeah.
to keep the positive outlook and support each other. That's all we can do right now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here today with us. We wish
Thank
you the
you so
best of
much.
luck with your Poptronic and your neighbor space.
Thank
And
you.
we'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you. Have
Have
a
a
good
great
Thanks.
day.
day.
You too, Kelly.
Bye.
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 That's awesome. Like
that lady.
she had me at coffee shop. Like I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
So just to recap, so they set up this pod just like the ones at the Cornwall Square, and they put it outside or around a neighborhood.
Yeah, but
Say,
from what I gather, it's gonna have like several parts to the pod. Like instead
mhm,
of like it'd be a bigger pod, and it could have like several area, like a library nook and a coffee shop
mhm,
in one pod.
yeah,
I think that's what she meant. But
yeah, that's what I got. And they place this pod in well, at first she said
park
in
or
remote areas where they don't have all this stuff.
or it could also be in a neighborhood where it's just going to bring people together,
Yeah,
like she
in
was
a
talking about Ottawa, so yeah.
yeah, in a park or something where people can come.
Yeah, it'd be great to have something like that in Lamoureux Park. Like, I mean, those pods that are at Cornwall Square, I would love to see that all throughout Lamoureux Park. It'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Like having
because
little pop-up shops every
yeah,
weekend that change, and it's kind of neat.
yeah, I thought that was a really good idea when they did that because there's
Hmm.
so many little places that we don't even know about that pop up there.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the website, neighborspace.ca.
Mhm.
You can go read all about it. And then for the electronics rental, it is poptronic.ca. So you can go and check it out. And I like what she said about like the circular economy.
Yeah.
Like I'm guilty, like 100% guilty. And the food waste, like I've touched about it on this show before, and my family is like so against leftovers. It's not even
Really?
funny. Like, oh my gosh, if I make something, it has to be eaten the same day, otherwise it's not going to get eaten. My
Oh my god.
they can't do leftovers. Like they hate leftovers. I've been trying to force them on him to eat them lately. Like I've been a little more forceful and just,
Well,
but
often we like well, I mean, with the two of us, there's all kinds of stuff left over, and then one day a week, it's just that is the
leftover
meal,
day.
leftover day. My mom
Yeah.
used to do that too, so
Well,
we're
that's what
used
I
to
do
it.
now. I tell them, we have this, and that. Pick, Oh,
Yeah.
unless it's leftover pizza, that I have no problem with.
Oh, they eat that.
Leftover pizza, they'll eat.
Yeah, my theory was always against wasting because of the fact, like I say, with my parents, how they had to when they were small, that there was no food. When they were like leaving
Hmm.
Estonia, there was barely any food. And that's why I do not like wasting food
Well,
because of
I don't
that
like
fact.
wasting food either. I was, I was raised like we were not wasting food
Yeah.
in my family. It was like it was a big no no with my dad. Like, um, and food and anything, like we didn't waste anything. And I find that kids these days are so easy
Oh,
to, like, they break stuff, they just throw it away.
yep.
They
They break an iPhone, they expect a new one.
yeah,
It's
or
crazy.
an Xbox or whatever.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah, I make them work for it. Like, my son, I bought this popcorn machine. Oh, by the way, if you want good popcorn, man, no, I didn't buy. John bought this popcorn machine that is a big old round thing, and it's got a spinner in the middle, and it 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 spins, and it's got this big dome on top, and
Hmm.
you put like the butter on top, and it melts as the popcorn pops. Like, it
Wow.
makes the best popcorn ever. Anyways, Mateo was working with this machine, and he there's a little spinner in the middle, and he broke the little motor. Like, he broke the
Oh
spinner. I had it for
no.
2 weeks, and he broke it.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, we tried to fix it, and it was not fixable. So
Oh.
had him work for it. Had to buy another one
Buy a
and
new
had to
one.
work for it. Yeah.
Oh.
But where does that end up? Like, this piece of metal that is no longer working, where does that end up?
In the landfill
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever. Well, she was talking about the clothes too, like Serendipity, Agape, Salvation Army, everything.
I am
Yeah.
wearing thrift today. This
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
nice little number from a thrift store.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I bought anything full price
Me
at
too.
a
Me too.
regular store because I would prefer to go to the stores and support, like Serendipity supports Maison Baldwin House, Agape supports the soup kitchen, Salvation Army supports, the food soup kitchen too. So you're buying something to support these organizations. So that's where I start off. If there really isn't anything that I need, then I will go elsewhere, but usually I can find what
Yeah.
I need at the stores, and I feel good about helping somebody and
Yep.
recycling a piece of clothing.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's just about time for.
Actually, I forgot to tell you, I did send you a picture of all the stuff we're test tasting today in one piece because I cut everything. You have half, I have half. Can you pull up that picture?
Where did you put it? Where did you send it?
I shared it to your Facebook chat,
Let me see.
and your comment was yum.
Oh,
It was the box.
it was a while ago. Let me see if I can find it.
It was Saturday evening.
Oh, my Facebook is just not. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, because it's good to see it in one piece. I forgot to ask you.
All right. So let me share my screen. All right.
Yeah, so that is all intact. I thought if we both had that much to eat this morning, it would be too much. So
Mm-hmm.
we have it half of everything.
Okay. So we have a strawberry cupcake. We have a carrot cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
We have a white pecan and banana cupcake. And then we have a pretzel salted caramel brownie. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, that was kind of, I had to get that because I like anything salty and
Salted caramel is one of my favorite flavors in the whole wide world.
and it looks so good.
Yep. All right. So which one are we? We're going to save that one for last.
Of course, we can start with the banana white pecan.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So,
We have that side and then we have that side.
the
So you can
middle.
see the bananas in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to stick it on my nose. I bet you anything. And I don't have any paper towels, so it'll be interesting.
Oh,
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
oh. I've got it on my.
Mm.
Mm. So it tastes like a buttercream on top. It's
Mhm.
quite heavy, but it's really good.
I don't find it that heavy.
Mm.
It's good.
I'm trying to put it in my mouth without getting it on my glasses, my face, and everything else.
All right. Banana pecan. Yummy.
Actually, very good. Very good.
Oh, hell. I'm going to have another bite now since you had another bite.
Now, I do have to say, I picked these up on Saturday afternoon. It was about 4 o'clock. They close at 4. So
They're
I
still
went.
very moist.
Yeah. So she said the trick is to take the box and put saran wrap around the whole thing and then put it in your fridge. So that's what I did.
Mm.
Because when I dropped them off to you yesterday, I was kind of worried in case they were dry, but they are not dry.
They're not dry at all.
They're super moist.
Carrot?
That is the
Other one with the
white
white.
ooh. I can't believe how moist they still are.
Yeah, that's very
So
moist.
here's the side
Mhm.
and inside you can see it's really good. Really moist.
Okay,
1,
let's go.
2, 3.
Mmm.
Oh my goodness.
Mmm.
No, I shouldn't have worried about the dryness because they're super moist.
You know, I'm not a fan of carrot, And this is so good.
It is.
I'm really not a fan of carrot cake.
Yeah, this is really good.
This is really, really good. Like the spice she put in there.
Mm.
Mmm.
Mm.
That is lovely.
A lot of going on.
Yep.
But I am glad that I gave you half and I have half because I would have eaten them all.
Yeah. They're really yummy.
Yeah,
Mm.
even the top part is, again,
All
it's really
right.
good. Last one,
Strawberry.
pink
Stra-
strawberry.
Strawberry's got little beads on top. That's kind of
Yeah, little
cute.
beads, and then
And
inside
then,
it's got little strawberry bits.
well, you got them. I
Well,
got none. You
they're
got them all on your side.
they are in there.
All right.
So
Let's
this
go.
is strawberry.
1, 2, and 3.
3. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Again, nice and moist. Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, they're very good.
You can taste the strawberry
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah, even in
Mm.
the pink topping. Okay, so I worried for nothing.
You
They're
did.
super moist. And we didn't even say where we got them from. I will
Oh,
give a little shout out. It's Fairy Sweet and it's 11 2nd Street West.
your daughter is on. She
Have-
said, "Have you girls tried Mr. Puff?" Said, "Are you kidding, Katrina? Like I had them last night again.
Oh
Like
my God, Julie. So you've had them like 5, 6,
15
7
times. Like we've tried Mr. Puffs and then I can't stop eating them. Like it's
Oh, Katrina, I was good. I only tried them once. But Julia, no, she's not good. She's there
nope,
all the time.
nope. My hips have taken about 2 inches since we've tried Mr. Puffs.
Yeah, they were awesome though.
Mm.
They were really good.
Okay, so which one is your favorite cupcake?
I have to say the carrot cake.
Me too. So me would be carrot, banana, strawberry.
Yeah. Yeah, because the carrot is really, really moist. I like it.
Yep. It's very good. Okay, and now we try this
This is the one I
this
think
this
we're gonna
heavenly
like.
thing.
This is
Oh,
the
God.
pretzel salted caramel brownie. Oh,
Oh God. That looks so good.
again, that's why we only have
So
half
heavenly.
each.
So heavenly.
All right.
Katrina says, "I wish I can order from Cornwall Restaurant. I miss
I miss
Village
Diner.
Diner the most."
Yeah, that is a good breakfast there.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Holy.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness, it is really good.
Oh God, it's so rich.
It is.
One bite and you're done.
I don't think so. I'll have to have a second one.
All right, you're twisting my arm.
Yeah, it's really good. The chocolate is kind of oozing out.
Mm.
And then you've got, what is that bottom? The base is, it's like graham crumbs.
I think so. Oh my God. This
Yeah, I
is
think
so heavenly.
it is. It's really good.
But it's so sweet. Oh Lord. So
Yeah.
sweet.
We'll have to have coffee now.
Mm.
So the cupcakes are $2.25 each. The Heavenly Square is $3.25 because there's a lot more in it. So
Yeah.
it's worth it. And like I said, even if you pick them up a day or so before you eat them, she said you can actually wrap it in saran wrap, the whole box, and put it in the freezer until the day that you need. You take them out a little bit before you need them, a few hours actually. But it worked because they are super moist. So you can check out Fairy Sweet, like I said, at 11 2nd Street West, phone number 933-7040, or check out Facebook. They're under Fairy Sweet Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Closed Sunday and Monday. Saturday open from 10 to 4. And they do stop baking around 2 o'clock on a Saturday. And Tuesday to Friday, they're open 10 to 5, and they stop baking around 3. But you don't even want to know what time they start baking.
Oh,
around
I'm sure they start like 4 in the
4 or
morning.
5. Yeah, depending on what they've got. So basically, everything is made from scratch. Everything is baked fresh every day. So
If
that
I worked in a bakery, I no doubt legit would be like 500 pounds.
but you know what? You might not be because if you see it day in, day out, you might
Oh, I don't care.
you would still be?
Oh, yeah, I would be eating that stuff all the time. Not
I don't know. I don't know. You might get you'd smell it all day, you'd see it all day. You would have to
who
taste
knows?
test it, but who
Of
knows?
course. Yep. All right.
It was
So it
good.
is February 28th. Oh, do we grade them? So I'll give my carrot cake a 10, and I'm kind of surprised because I would never give a carrot cake a 10.
Because you're not
So
a carrot cake
carrot
person.
cake carrot cake muffin, well, cupcake was a 10 for me.
Definitely.
Then
I
the banana I would give 9.5.
I think I'd go for maybe an 8 on that.
Okay.
Wasn't my favorite, but you know what? I prefer the strawberry.
Strawberry.
I would go carrot, strawberry, and banana because
Yeah.
again, I find this is nice and moist, so that one would
See,
get a
the
9.
strawberry I would give an 8 too.
Okay, and I would give a 9. So
Yeah, yeah. And then
um,
the brownie,
12 out of 10.
okay. Um Honestly, I think I would give it a 9.
I like it.
It's just a tiny little bit too sweet.
I still like it.
Very
If
sweet.
you need that quick chocolate fix, that's your go-to.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's good.
Very good.
So, I was saying it is February 28th. Tomorrow is March 1st, and tomorrow is the end of a lot of things in Ontario.
Oh,
So,
yes, yes, yes.
no more vaccine passports
Hmm.
to go in restaurants starting tomorrow. Um, I think the capacity is increasing as well in settings, gathering settings. So I'm not sure. Like I forget what it is. I think we're going back to full capacity in a lot of settings tomorrow.
I think so.
So it will be interesting to see where that goes.
But mask wearing, you still have to wear your mask.
Yes, except Alberta, where your daughter
Where Katrina
is doing away with all that now.
So, Katrina, how do you feel? I hope she's listening.
I'm not
Are
sure if
you,
she's still there.
yeah, are you planning on still wearing your mask or not wearing your mask? I know I would still be wearing mine.
Yeah, um, I would. I would probably too. Like I. Oh, she said, I don't go out much, anyways.
No, she doesn't. But
So,
when you like, she does go to the grocery store, but I'm sure if she's like her mom, she'd be wearing her mask.
uh huh.
Well,
Masks are mandatory in all public spaces, workplace, and places of worship. However, mask requirements. Okay, it's not the latest thing, I don't think. Anyways,
where are you talking? Here or
no, I
Alberta?
was looking at Alberta. Still wearing
Oh,
a mask though. It's optional for the children in school, but ours still wear them.
wise.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's wise for a little while longer. So for me, when I start, because I do Skip, right? I work for Skip the Dishes,
Mhm.
and I don't know when. I think mid-March is when they're probably going to do away with the mask requirements in Ontario. I'm speculating. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that's what they're going to do around mid-March. Um, and I'm like, if I'm working and delivering stuff to strangers, I'm still gonna wear my mask.
Well, I know we start with the weddings. Our first event is a stag, March 19th, and we're still going to have our N95s on. We're going to be inside with a whole lot of people. So,
So, what are you gonna do hypothetically if a bride tells you, "No, it's ugly. I don't want you to wear a mask at my wedding"? There's masks are not mandatory anymore.
well, our answer will be well, if we have to make sure we don't get sick, because if we get sick, we're going to be ruining a lot of weddings in the next
Mhm.
little while. So we
Mhm.
can't afford to get sick, Julia.
Right.
We can't afford to get sick.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, because you don't want to get sick. I mean, and give it to anybody else. So, and if you're sick, you really can't go anywhere. So it's going to ruin a lot of weddings. You can't be calling a
Yeah,
bride.
but I'm wondering if they're gonna do away with those isolation things too. Like I'm thinking that by the end of March, everything's gonna be removed. If you're sick, you're not gonna have to isolate anymore. I think they're gonna do away with all that.
I have a feeling they already did away with that in England too. There's no isolation. So basically, it'll end up like the flu. Some people go
So
out if they're sick anyway. So,
when did they remove that in England?
um, from what my mom said, it's just recently.
Okay. So have they seen any increases or anything? Do you know?
I don't know. I really don't know. They talk to my aunt. My mom talks to my aunt and uncle twice a week. So that came up, and I was like shocked that they have dropped a lot of stuff there too.
All the
So
mandates.
yeah,
Right. Right. That's kind of trippy, eh? Let me see what they're looking like. I guess they're not counting new cases either. They stopped counting. There is no count of new cases for the last 3 days in England, in the UK.
hmm
I guess they stopped counting.
they did
I
that
guess
too.
if you don't count it, it doesn't exist, right?
Exactly, it's gone.
There's no
So
more COVID in the UK.
so basically, I mean, it's not gone. We know that it's not gone. It's going to be around for a long time. So everybody will have to just do whatever they feel is safe for them, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So,
So events.
well, I need to say that Ribfest is being
Oh,
planned.
okay.
Yay! And it's gonna be a full Ribfest this year
Wow. Wow,
because
that'll be nice.
restrictions are being lifted, so everything's gonna be normal.
That's exciting news.
It is, it is. What else is happening?
Well, I have a little thing that's going to start March the 7th. It's a
Mhm.
6-week course, and you might be interested. Learn to read tarot cards. Our very
Oh,
own Bride Rose is going to be giving a 6-week course
you know
at
I
the
read tarot
library.
cards.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I haven't touched a tarot deck in probably 20 years, over 20 years for sure. Um, I kind of stopped when was I, I became born again Christian, so I left my evil ways behind when
I
I
did.
got baptized.
Yeah, but now you're not born again Christian and you're back to your evil ways. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess I'm back to my evil ways. No, I just don't know what I believe in. Kind of atheist right now.
Well,
It's funny how we go through, well, some people never go through phases. They have an unwavering faith
yeah.
and go through life like, I just when I always believe there's a higher power,
Mhm.
still do, but not sure I believe in religion anymore. I find that religion is used to manipulate people a lot, and yeah.
I mean, I believe in God, but I'm not overly religious, so I don't go to church or anything like that. But yes, there's a higher power. We'll leave it
Yeah,
like that.
I believe there's a higher power.
Yeah, we'll leave
Um,
it like that. Now the course, I just want to finish that.
mhm.
It is a 6-week course. Learn to read tarot cards with Bride Rose. Starts March the 7th at the library at 5:30 in the evenings. First come, first serve. Seats are limited, so you have to register
Is it free?
online. Yeah, it's a free
It's a
course.
free course.
Yeah, you got to register at
Oh,
www.library.cornwall.on.ca, but it's a free course for 6 weeks.
and I bet you can buy your tarot cards at the Purple Broomstick.
Yes, and oh my God, that place is awesome. I love that place.
I'm yet to go. I haven't gone yet.
It's so full. There's so much in there. I just got my last batch of incense there too, so I love my incense.
Yeah, I should go and check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Cornwall Art Hive is now at the library last Saturday of each month. So basically, from noon to 1, you can go in. It's called Art for All, and you can they supply the oh my god, the stuff to work with to create your art. So check that out. And on the third Saturday of each month, Art for All is at the Cornwall Square from 1 to 3. So you can do art there too. And you know what? Art is just amazing because it connects people. You don't
Mhm.
have to be an artist. You don't have to know how to make anything. You just go in and create. It's a really nice space they've got.
Cool.
Yeah.
The farmers market is starting in the mall, actually, right?
I knew it was, but do they have a
So
specific date yet?
I saw something today on Facebook. I would have to find it. Oh, actually, I think it was on our Seeker page, our Seeker page.
Okay, I think that's an awesome idea. You know what? I found out because I had gone to a couple of events there, and the new owners, they are so community minded and they are bringing a lot of things into the mall to get
Mm-hmm.
people back in there. A lot of community events and stuff. Because you went to some stuff at the upstairs, the old Sears.
Yeah, during
Christmas, you went to We Three Girls, the Christmas market.
yes, I
And
did.
they've got an Easter market coming up. They've got quite a few events. So in that space, and then the marketplace had had all the pet organized.
Oh, you're gone. Your microphone is gone again. Can't hear you. I did find the Cornwall market. It's right here. So the Cornwall Waterfront Farmers Market is every Thursday from March 3rd to May 26th from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Cornwall Square.
Awesome.
Yep.
Am I back?
Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness, this thing is in and out today. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's a really nice touch because right now it's too cold to be outside. So
Yep.
it's great that you can go there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm not sure where it's gonna be. First floor, it says. So
Oh,
I'll go and check it out. March 3rd is this Thursday, so I'll go
so
check
the
it out for
first
sure.
I
This Thursday.
is the marketplace on the first floor? I think it
Yeah,
is.
that's what
It's near the
marketplace.
elevators. Yeah,
Oh, it is?
yeah,
Okay.
it's near the elevators on the first floor.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, that's it for us for today. Hopefully you had a good time. Thank you again for Kelly Bergeron to come and chat with us today. I hope you have a wonderful week.
All right, I'm back. I am muted.
Oh, you were muted
Oh
again.
my God. What at least it's happening at the end of the show. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Okay, so have a great week.
And a super duper day.
Bye for now. See you next
Bye.
week, guys.
Bye.